Sometimes love isn't about holding on. It's about learning how to let go. Tonight, we follow the story of James, Too Deep, and little Nhi, a family bound not by blood, but by a love stronger than any surname could ever offer. A story of how hearts find one another in the dust of lost dreams, and how, sometimes, the purest kind of love is the one that dares to release. When life forces them to choose between the heart and the mind, which will they follow? Stay with us until the end, and if this story moves you, don't forget to carry it with you. Because some love stories don't end, they just echo quietly, forever. The evening sun burns low over the countryside, spilling copper light across a road of red dust. A motorbike hums through it, a lone figure riding fast, his shirt streaked with soil and sweat. That man is James, and this road, is the one he's ridden every day since his life took a turn he never saw coming. At the end of the lane, the old school gate creaks open, and suddenly, the silence explodes with the laughter of children. From the middle of the crowd, a tiny figure darts forward, a girl with messy pigtails and a Doraemon backpack bouncing behind her. "Uncle James," she shouts, voice bright as morning bells. Before he can even stop the bike, she's already there, throwing her little arms around his neck, nearly knocking them both over. James laughs, breath catching somewhere deep in his chest as he holds her close. Her hair smells of warm earth and milk. It smells like home. It smells like everything he's been running toward, and standing by the gate, quiet, watching, is Too Deep. Her eyes, soft and deep like lamplight through fog, meet his for a heartbeat that stretches like forever. No words, no smiles, just breath shared between two souls who know the moment is too fragile to touch. James lifts Nhi onto the back of the bike. The wind tangles her hair as she clings to his shirt. Too Deep steps forward, tucking a loose strand behind the child's ear, fingers brushing her cheek, lingering a second too long. James's heart twists. He wishes time could stop here, in this single, golden frame of life where no one asks who belongs to whom. But time doesn't wait for broken hearts. He grips the handle tighter. The engine roars. And the three of them ride away, swallowed by the fading sun, as red dust curls up behind them like a soft goodbye. Evening settles over the village in violet layers. In the small vegetable garden behind their house, 4 silhouettes move slowly among rows of young cabbage. A lantern flickers on a fence post, its glow rippling over damp soil. Little Nhi kneels beside a bucket, her tiny hands trembling as she pours water onto the plants, drop by careful drop, as though each one were a prayer. James works beside her, twisting wire to build a fence around the seedlings. His movements are clumsy but careful, each knot a silent promise that tomorrow, these greens will still grow. That tomorrow, this life will still be theirs. From the porch, 2 deep watches. Her eyes shimmer with something caught between pride and fear. The man she loves is trying so hard to build a future with his bare hands, but fate, she knows, has a habit of breaking what we love most. Their old friend, the farmer from next door, leans on his hoe and chuckles. "Looks good," he mutters. "Even cabbages need a family." James doesn't answer. He only tightens another knot, wire cutting into his blistered fingers. Fingers that once held city keys and business reports now bleed quietly under the weight of love. The camera of life moves from Nee's small, muddy hands to James's trembling ones. He ties the final knot, a little too tightly, as if he's trying to bind his heart to something that can't leave. The wire breaks. NHI gasps. And just like that, the laughter comes back. "We did it," she cheers, spinning in circles as the sun dips low. James stands slowly, back aching, shirt clinging with sweat. The last light of day cuts through the mist and paints his face in copper and sorrow. He looks across the rows of green to where 2 deep stands, her hair swaying in the wind, her smile trembling like a question she's afraid to ask. Something inside him splits clean in 2. One side screams, "Keep her, keep this love." The other whispers, "She's not yours by blood. Let her go before the world takes her anyway." The thought lands heavy in his chest, too heavy to speak. 2 deep steps forward, laying a gentle hand on his shoulder. It's not comfort, not really. Just connection. 2 broken souls pressing against the same pain. "Good work, kid," the old farmer says, slapping James's back. "But if we don't feed the chickens soon, they'll start a riot." They laugh, but it's a crooked sound, half joy, half ache. The crickets rise. The wind moves through the cabbage leaves like quiet applause for the small victories of the day. And somewhere, between laughter and silence, the camera catches the tears that James won't let fall. He looks at the fence again, the one meant to protect what he loves most. But fences can't hold the future. A gust of wind rattles the wires. The sound is sharp and hollow, like ribs cracking under unseen pressure. "Heart or mind," James whispers. The night answers with nothing, when the world goes quiet. The house sleeps beneath a blanket of crickets. The lamp hums softly on the porch, haloed by moths. Inside, little NHI dreams with her hand wrapped tightly around her Doraemon bag. James stands outside, leaning on the fence they built together, eyes fixed on a sky bleeding faintly through countryside smoke. Each star feels like a promise he made, and doesn't know how to keep. Behind him, Too Deep steps out, wrapping a shawl over her shoulders. You should rest, she murmurs. He shakes his head. If I sleep, I'll dream about losing her. For a long time, neither speaks. The world holds its breath. Then, quietly, she asks. Do you think love alone is enough? He gives a broken laugh. Love's the only thing I have left. Her eyes lower. Sometimes love is what destroys us too. The words linger between them, two candles burning each other just to stay alive. Morning smells of wet earth and final decisions. On the kitchen table, a letter lies folded, the ink still fresh, the handwriting uneven, stained by the night before. Outside, James ties the last rope on his motorbike. His bag is small, a few shirts, some tools, and a photo of NHI with her toothless grin. The sun rises slowly, stretching his shadow long across the yard. Too Deep stands in the doorway, the letter trembling in her hands. You're really leaving? He doesn't answer right away. He just tightens another knot. Her grandmother called, he finally says. She wants to take NHI back to the city. Says it's time she goes to school. A real one. Proper school. Too Deep repeats, the word tasting bitter. She's right, he murmurs. NHI deserves more than what I can give her here. Silence swells between them, thick as fog. You think walking away makes you the good one? She asks. No, he says softly. Just the coward who still wants what's best for her. Too Deep wants to scream, to beg, to tell him love should be enough. But she can see it, he's already halfway gone. The scrape of luggage wakes NHI. She rubs her eyes, her voice small. Uncle James, where are we going? He kneels beside her, brushing her bangs from her face. You're going to Grandma's, remember? Big city. New school, new friends. Her lips tremble. But I want to stay here, with you and Mommy Deep. Too Deep bites her lip until it bleeds. James forces a smile. You'll come back on holidays, okay? We'll plant more cabbages together. Promise, she whispers. He nods, though the word burns like ash in his throat. She throws her arms around him again, just like the first day by the school gate. Don't forget me, she says into his neck. At the roadside, the old bus wheezes and groans. The grandmother climbs in first. NHI hesitates, looking back one last time. Too Deep waves. James stands frozen, one hand raised, his heart a storm too loud for words. The bus pulls away, kicking up clouds of red dust until her small waving hand disappears. Only then does Too Deep reach for him. He doesn't move. the sound of the engine fades. The road falls silent. Only the half-finished fence creaks in the wind, the sound of something breaking and still trying to hold. Days turn into weeks. The garden grows wild without Nee's laughter to tame it. James repairs roofs for neighbors, sharpens tools, fixes what's broken, everything except himself. Sometimes, at dusk, he rides to the school gate. It's closed now, silent. He leans on his bike, staring at the empty yard where her voice once danced. Then, one evening, the postman arrives. "Letter for you." Under the dim lamp, James opens it. The handwriting is clumsy, full of loops and love. "Dear Uncle James, Grandma said my grades are good. I miss you and Mommy deep. When the cabbages grow again, please send me a photo. I'll draw them at school." Love, NHI. Green heart. He reads it 3 times. Then folds it carefully and slips it into his pocket, like something sacred. That night, he sits again by the fence. The stars shimmer faintly, and the air smells of young cabbage, of new beginnings. Too Deep joins him, barefoot, her steps quiet in the grass. After a long silence, she asks, "Do you regret it?" "Every day," he says. "Then why does it still feel right?" He smiles faintly. Because sometimes, loving someone means teaching yourself how to live without them. She nods. No tears this time. Just a quiet understanding. 2 souls who built a life out of what little the world left them. The lamp flickers. Crickets sing. The fence rattles softly in the breeze, not as a wound anymore, but as a heartbeat. Steady. Alive. James looks up at the stars. "Maybe tomorrow," he says, "she'll draw our cabbages again." Too Deep rests her head on his shoulder. "And maybe one day," she whispers back, "we'll stop asking whether love was enough." The camera drifts upward, over the small home, the garden, the red road that never quite settles. A man, a woman, an empty chair between them, but somehow, in that emptiness, love still breathes.